Welcome to the Profitable Speaking Podcast, where we help you build a profitable six-figure business from the stage. Here's your host, Mr. Web Marketing, Brad Hauck. Welcome to episode 28 of the Profitable Speaking Podcast, where we empower you to become more impactful, more engaging, and a more profitable public speaker. Today, I have an exciting episode lined up for you. I'm going to look at the art of creating compelling conference presentations that captivate audiences and leave a lasting impression. A compelling speech is vital in today's fast-paced world, where attention spans are shorter, information overload is the norm. A well-crafted, engaging presentation not only captures the audience's attention, but it also leaves a lasting impact on their mind. By making a speech compelling, you increase the likelihood that your message will resonate with your listeners, driving them to take action, make a change, or adopt a new perspective. A compelling speech also elevates your credibility as a speaker, helping you to stand out from the crowd, and it fosters a strong connection with your audience. Ultimately, a captivating presentation is the key to effectively communicating your ideas and creating memorable experiences that will leave a lasting impression on your audience. So, how can we prepare for a conference presentation? Firstly, we need to know our audience. Understanding your audience and meticulously preparing your conference presentations are essential for delivering a successful talk. Whether you know your audience demographics and expectations or not, if you do, you can tailor your content to be more relevant and engaging, making a stronger connection with them. Defining your key message early in the preparation process allows you to maintain focus and clarity throughout your presentation, ensuring that your core concept is effectively communicated. Structuring your presentation with a clear introduction, main points, and a conclusion helps guide your audience through your content, making it easier for them to follow your train of thought and retain the information that you're sharing. Ultimately, through preparation, you set the foundation for a compelling conference presentation that resonates with your audience. So the two main things there that we've got to look at is the demographics and expectations. And the fact of the matter is, understanding your demographics is really important. You should know something about your audience before you get in front of them, whether it's a group of small business owners, corporate managers, other speakers. It doesn't really matter, but understand them and think about what it is that they need. And that might require you to do a bit of research, have a chat to the conference organizers, etc., but get a feeling of them, what they already know, and what's trying to be achieved through your presentation. Understanding the expectations of the audience and the conference organizers can sometimes be two different things. The conference organizers might be getting you to talk about a topic because they want the people in the room to be thinking a certain way so they can present some new insight. For example, they might get you in to talk about change because they're about to sack 500 staff members, or they're about to expand the business or something. They're setting up the audience for a change, so they bring in a change speaker. So understand there's expectations of what the audience feels that they would like to learn being there, depending on whether it's a business conference or a corporate conference. And then there's expectations of why they brought you in and what they hope you'll succeed in doing with the audience. So once we know our audience, we need to define our key message. Defining key message is a crucial step in creating your presentation. Your key message serves as a core concept that you want your audience to understand, remember, and potentially, hopefully, act upon. It should be clear, concise, and directly relevant to their interests or needs. By establishing your key message early in the preparation, you can ensure that every aspect of your presentation supports and reinforces this one central idea. You'll often hear people talk about one core concept, and that's really important. Additionally, a well-defined key message helps you stay focused and avoid straying into unrelated stuff, which could dilute the impact of your presentation. If we look at the one core concept, it's really important. I always talk about one core concept, three smaller sub-concepts that support that. And I always talk about the rule of threes. It doesn't matter whether we're writing, whether we're presenting or whatever. One core concept, three sub-concepts. And then if you're writing an article, you write three smaller points about each of those concepts. And then you write 100 words about each one, et cetera, et cetera. And the same rule really does apply to a speech. You have your core concept, which is your overarching theme, your overarching message. In my case, talking about dealing with rapid change, I talk about run towards the flames. It doesn't matter whether you're in business or on the fire ground, the flames are where the problems are. If you don't head towards the flames, you can't solve the problem. So it's one core concept, very simple. And then I have a couple of elements that make that up. So think about your core concept and then look at its relevance in relation to your audience. Put some points down about how that relates to them specifically. Again, that's where understanding your demographics and who's going to be in the room is really important. So define your key message. You need to structure your presentation in a really simple way. As I talked about the 1 with 3, structuring your presentation is effectively an essential component of creating a compelling presentation. You can't do it unless you structure it properly. By organizing your content into a clear introduction, main points, and conclusion, main points being our 3 sub-points, you can guide your audience through your material in a logical manner. The introduction sets the stage. In other words, it gets people ready. It might have a story, something like that. It captures your audience's attention and it sets up a roadmap of what you're going to do. The main points should be organized in a way that support your key message, and they have clear headings so they understand when people are transitioning from one part of the presentation to the next part of the presentation. And finally, the conclusion summarizes those points, reinforces your message, and leaves your audience with a clear call to action or a thought-provoking idea. It's really important. So we've got our introduction, we get up there and we tell a story and we set the main message that we're trying to get. We then go through our 3 main points and we have little exercises to do and little questions and all sorts of things in those 3 main points. And then we pull it all together at the end with I always recommend a call to action. Get out there and do it. Ending. So that you don't leave people thinking, oh, what do I do now? The call to action might be a sale. Talk to me about how I can help you with that. It could be, do this tomorrow. Or over the next 3 weeks, I want you to each day list these 3 things or whatever it happens to be. But make sure that it's quite obvious that your speech is coming to an end. Don't just end in the middle of a thought, okay? When you leave people hanging, it's very confusing for your audience. I was literally working on a speech this week and I went through the speech and practiced it a little bit. And then I got to the end and realized it was just like nowhere. I just hadn't finished it. I was sitting up in the middle of nowhere and I'm like, okay, this is not good. So I've now gone back and I've actually written the end properly and it's coming together. So another couple of days, it should be right. But it's really important. You don't just end abruptly just because you've got a time limit or something and you're trying to get all this information in and suddenly you just go, oh, and that's it. Well done. Don't do that. Okay. Think about what you're doing. Next thing we need to look at once we've got all that done is looking at designing visually appealing slides. Okay. Designing visually appealing slides plays a significant role in making your presentation more interesting. Effective slide design not only supports the spoken content, but also enhances your audience engagement and understanding. It's crucial you maintain a consistent layout and formatting through your slides, ensuring that they're easy to read and they look professional. Using visuals such as images, charts, graphs to help convey complex information is great, but make sure they're simple graphs, simple images. Striking the right balance between text and visuals is key to avoiding information overload. We've all heard about death by PowerPoint, okay? You do not want too much information on your slides. Be mindful of the things that annoy you and using distracting animations and things like that, which I recently saw in a presentation. It made the presentation very difficult to watch. Stick to simple, good pictures, good layout, good charts, good graphs, and clear information. One of the key things that I think works really well, and if you don't know what to do with your slides and you're confused about going forward, is just to use a photo. You can use a photo with one word on there or one sentence, and that is enough of a prompt for a professional speaker to be able to know what they're going to say. The picture represents something to the audience, so when you say about money and there's a picture of money on the screen, it reinforces what you're talking about. They're not distracted by the screen. They've got something to read, so suddenly they've got something to read, but there's not loads of information on there. There's just one word. Now, if you want to use some bullet points, that's great. Have a couple of bullet points. But if all your slides have a pile of bullet points on them, you're going to wreck your presentation. So make sure that your slides are visually appealing. And if you're not sure, get someone else to look at them. Okay, there's nothing more frustrating from my perspective, being involved in design and technology, is to see a speaker using 1985 style PowerPoint. It really hurts my brain. So please don't be that person. Get something modernized. Pay for someone to make it look nice if necessary. But even using some of the nice modern templates, you don't need to go too far down the road to get something that works effectively. Avoid common design mistakes. This is really important. One mistake is overloading your slides with too much text or visuals. Okay? This can make it difficult for your audience to absorb and retain the content. Instead, only put the essential information and use white space strategically to create a clean, uncluttered look. This is really important. White space is very powerful, whether it be on a handout or on a PowerPoint slide. It's the space around things. White space is unused space. While some animations may be effective in emphasizing a particular point, it's crucial to try and not use them at all if you possibly can. Ensure that if you do use them, they serve a purpose rather than merely providing a visual entertainment point. They are so distracting to the audience. So just remember, don't overload your slides and don't use distracting animations. Number 6, dynamic delivery and audience engagement. Dynamic delivery and audience engagement are critical components. Your body language, the tone of your voice can significantly influence how your message is received. Maintaining confident posture, eye contact, vocal variety, all those sorts of things can help convey your passion and your expertise and create a better connection with your audience. Incorporating interactive elements such as questions, discussions, live polls, quizzes can further enhance that engagement and encourage active participation. Also, you need to be able to manage your nerves. Okay, it's a key point in delivery, making sure that you deliver your presentation with confidence and poise. Okay. If we look at body language, the way you use your body language and tone during conference presentation has a significant impact on your audience. You need to be confident. Okay. There's no point in being on a stage if you're all shy and hiding. Get out there, pull on your suit of armor and go for it. Look at your audience. Find someone who's smiling. Make eye contact with them. I like the smiling people because at least it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. Use different vocal tones. So, if you're telling a story, you might like to quieten down a bit and tell them quietly. But then when an exciting part comes, you lift your voice up and away you go. Vocal control is really important on a stage. And using a microphone, you can still do that. If you find it's difficult, move your mic up and down. Learn some mic techniques. Remember, you've also got non-verbal cues as well. So using your hands, moving around the stage, different things like that help enforce a point of view or show people the impact of doing something. Again, you're on a stage, there's a large space around you and you're a small object, so you need to use more of it. If you hide behind a lectern, you're really going down the wrong track. You do not want to ever be behind a lectern. It is the worst place for a professional speaker because I got to be honest, I don't know what to do with myself when I'm behind a lectern. I feel like I've got to hold it and then I feel like I need to read something. And that is not the place for a professional. Okay. So get out there, use your posture, get eye contact, use your vocal skills and get connected with your audience through those. Handling nerves is also an important part of speaking. It's completely normal to experience some level of anxiety before and during a presentation. But effectively managing these nerves is crucial to a smooth, captivating delivery. Employing techniques such as deep breathing, listening to music, visualizing before you go on stage. Some people like to throw up. Everybody has their way of dealing with nerves, and we all get nerves to a degree. I find that the last 10 minutes before I go on stage, I'm a little bit edgy, tapping my foot a bit. Once I'm on stage and I've started and I'm a couple of minutes in, I'm as happy as a pig in mud. I love it. And that's why I like professional speaking. And you should get to that stage too, where you know that this is the place you're supposed to be. But remember that nerves are normal. It's being able to overcome them. As I said, I know speakers, very famous speakers to this day, who throw up before they go on stage every time, without fail. And as I said, it doesn't matter. Once I'm up there, I'm fine. It's just getting up there. So don't let yourself be stopped getting up. Deal with the nerves. Find your way of dealing with them. Breathing's a good way. Music's a great way. Pump yourself up with a bit of music. Get a playlist together for Spotify or something like that. I mentioned the conclusion. So ensuring you have a memorable conclusion is vital. The closing moments of your talk provide an opportunity to leave a lasting impression on your audience, reinforce your key points and messages, and it's really important that you start by summarizing your main points. Okay, so go back and say, in this presentation, I've talked about this and this. Why? Because I believe this. You'll have your own way of putting it together, but help them to recall the information, how it all ties together, and then provide a clear call to action or a thought-provoking idea that encourages your audience to take the next step. Whether that's implementing a new strategy, considering a different perspective, or engaging in further discussion with you or someone next to them. A strong, memorable conclusion serves to reinforce your message and leaves your audience feeling inspired, motivated, and hopefully eager to explore the topic further. That brings me to the end of another episode. As I wrap up this episode of the Profitable Speaking Podcast, we've explored the essential components of crafting compelling conference presentations, from understanding your audience and structuring your presentation effectively to designing visually appealing slides and delivering your message with confidence. Each element plays a crucial role in engaging your audience and leaving a lasting impression. I'll share a range of insights and strategies and tips to help you elevate your presentations. Remember to focus on your key message, use engaging story techniques, and conclude with a strong call to action. By applying these principles, you'll be well on your way to delivering impactful and profitable conference presentations. I hope you found this episode of our podcast on the art of creating compelling conference presentations that captivate audiences valuable and informative. If you did, I have a challenge for you. Hit that like button and subscribe to our podcast channel right now. Then share this podcast with another speaker who can use the tips and strategies we've shared. Let's help each other grow our businesses and make an impact in the speaking world. Together, we can reach even more people and make a bigger difference. So don't wait. Take action now and share the love. Thanks for tuning in, and get ready for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for listening to the Profitable Speaking Podcast. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, please help a friend and share it with them. Until next time, we hope you have a fun and profitable week.